We got a fun one today. We're heading to Belgium to take a look at a project that they had that created a new town or something like that. It looks really interesting. I haven't watched the entire thing. I've seen a couple seconds here and there. But the name of the video is called They Built a New Town in Belgium, and it's stunning. And this is by the Aesthetic City. Why did I say it like that? City. This is by the Aesthetic City. And there will be a link down below so you can go over and support the channel. I think this is going to be super interesting. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. Before we do that, go ahead and like the video. Let's see what we can see.
Barely anyone knows about it, but they built a beautiful new town in Belgium and it stunned everyone. Using local Flemish architecture and a traditional urban plan, they did what many think is impossible today. They created a thriving community that isn't boring and soulless, but one that is beautiful and that actually fits the place where it was built. But how? In this video, you'll learn how a small team of visionary planners and architects created a worthy and beautiful extension to a once beautiful beach town on the Belgian coast.
Oh, cool.
We'll see its beautiful architecture, its successful urban design, and we'll meet the architect who was closely involved in the project from start to finish. Not only that, we'll also dive into the 5 secrets behind the success of this place. So let's get started.
All right. That's hard to do in a city or in a place as old as Belgium, a country as old as Belgium. It's hard to blend in new architecture. So I'm curious to see how they do that here. Let's see. The Aesthetic City.
I'm in the beautiful city of Bruges, Belgium. And although it's a stunning city, I haven't come here to just drink leffe beer and eat fries and waffles. Instead, I've come here because it's nearby a very special new development that's just a 20-minute drive from here. And that new town is called Heulebrug.
Oh.
When you arrive by car, you see a village in the distance. But what you see isn't one of Belgium's medieval towns that have been here for 1,000 years. No, this one is brand new. When you come closer, you see its majestic tower rise over the brick gables and quaint facades. Everything here was built recently and has been the work of a number of visionary architects, the vision of one mayor, and the outcome of a short but intense design process, a so-called charrette, plus...
Charrette. And he said Heulebrug. I'm working on getting some different languages. I'm going to be like a polyglot or something. I mean, not really, but I am working on different languages, trying to, anyway. That was horrible, the impersonation or whatever I just did.
And the outcome of a short but intense design process, a so-called charrette, plus a number of design guidelines and a lot of effort to keep this vision intact. It sounds impossible, and yet Heulebrug is indeed very real. But how were they able to achieve this? Meet Matthias Delru, an engineer and architect who has been involved from the very beginning.
I'm Matthias Delru. I'm a civil engineer and architecture and urbanist, and I've been working on this project, Heulebrug, for more than 25 years now.
Oh, wow.
To understand why they built Heulebrug, we have to look at the town it belongs to. Knokke-Heist started out as a humble fishing village. However, in the 19th century, the town became a fancy seaside resort town. Beautiful hotels arose as it became the place to be for European royalty who wanted to stay on the beautiful Belgian coast. The town saw some of the earliest true urban plans of Belgium, which is quite unique in the country. See, Belgium has a bit of a history of laissez-faire planning. Many villages and towns in Belgium are what we call lintbebouwing. Homes were built directly adjacent to existing roads, growing long ribbon-like towns.
Okay, I got to hear that again because I want to understand what he said.
Laissez-faire planning. Many villages and towns in Belgium are what we call lintbebouwing. Homes were built directly adjacent to existing roads, growing long ribbon-like towns. But not so in Knokke-Heist, because here the great German planner Joseph Steuben is brought in to design a plan for a new area called Duinbergen. However, as the town keeps growing, new extensions are needed. In the 1970s, a development called Kijkdorp is realized, south of the railway. It uses the rat burn principle. And the homes are built using industrial prefabrication. But this extension isn't enough. South of Kijkdorp lies another plot destined for growth. Various plans are proposed, from a simple design by public company WVI to a new villa park. But nothing happens, as the Lord Mayor, Leopold Lippens, isn't happy with the plans. It is he who decides that he wants to do things very different indeed.
Okay.
The Lord Mayor, Leopold Leppens, who sadly passed away 4 years ago, he indicated to my former director and my former colleagues that they had to employ the founding fathers of new urbanism, the company DPZ, Dwayne Plater Zyperk and Company from Florida, USA, to help.
Oh boy. USA, what they do? They mess some up.
DPZ, Dwayne Plater Zyperk and Company from Florida, USA, to help realize a master plan according to their new urbanism principles.
They visit Seaside with a team in 1998 and pay another visit to Dorset in the UK to visit Poundbury. The master plan by Leon Greer that was commissioned by the Prince of Wales, now King Charles.
Oh, wow.
It's around that time that a team of these architects, including Leon Greer, Andres Douani and Jeff Speck, come over. They do site visits, they interview the locals and even give lectures about new urbanism. And then they start what is called a design charrette, an intensive collaborative workshop where planners, architects and stakeholders rapidly develop and refine a design project. The Lord Mayor is very clear from the start. He wants beautiful architecture that belongs to the local identity of Flanders. But what they get from local architects and developers isn't cooperation, it's resistance. In the US, many developers already know that modernist housing doesn't do well. But here in Belgium, they find an ideological commitment to modernism at any cost. However, at the design charrette, the
Okay. So he said in the
isn't cooperation, it's resistance. In the US, many developers already know that modernist housing doesn't do well.
developers know that modernist housing doesn't do well in the US. Maybe I don't know what modernist housing means. Sounds like modern homes. Those do well? I don't know. I must be missing something there.
But here in Belgium, they find an ideological commitment to modernism at any cost. However, at the design charrette, the Lord Mayor gets what he wants. Beautiful traditional architecture. On another note, it's not always possible to get what you want, like in the EU Parliament.
Okay. So he got what he wanted, which doesn't sound like he wanted modern. He wanted traditional.
Design charrette, the Lord Mayor gets what he wants. Beautiful traditional architecture.
Traditional.
The charrette produces the design for the urban plan, artist impressions, but more importantly, also a system of regulations, typical elevations and a platting system, laying out various options of row houses, duplexes and houses with varying lot widths. They even go a step further and propose how to retrofit the 1970s Kijkdorp into something more, well, beautiful.
Wait, 1970s. Oh, okay. I see the name at the top.
Propose how to retrofit the
Kijkdorp.
1970s Kijkdorp into something more, well, beautiful. But one thing is missing, the aesthetic guidance for the architects. Because only a plan isn't enough to achieve this result. They need designs. They attract an international team of architects who send in designs for houses. Some of them miss the mark, but most of the architects are approved. It also leads to several house designs tied to specific plots, which buyers of those lots need to use. This is done to infuse the plan with those characteristic and exemplary designs. The next step is to get it all built, and for that they use another interesting system. One that is uniquely fitting for Belgium. You see, many Belgians don't want to buy a turnkey house. They want to build their own house. So in Heulebrug they can buy...
Really? Many Belgians don't want to buy a turnkey home. They want to build their own home. Wonder why that is. He didn't really say, unless he's going to say here. But why is that? Anybody out there know?
Don't want to buy a turnkey house. They want to build their own house. So in Heulebrug they can buy a lot and attract an architect. But what makes this project unique is that there is a quality assurance system in place that makes sure that the designs of the architects are vetted to the guiding principles that were set up, and only then are given approval. This means that people could find their own local architect and work with them, but they did have to conform their designs to the guidelines. Happily, they did get help if it was needed. Some architects weren't acting in good faith, however. Many tried to sneak in modernist designs. by applying with a traditional design, which was approved, but then quietly changing their plans to a modernist one. Happily, this was always discovered and corrected, because they would still need final approval. By the way, if you like this content so far, you'll love our newsletter, the City Builder's Blueprint. If you join, you get our free 10x City Guide and much more. Slowly but surely, the town started to arise from the Flemish polder landscape. Today, the result is stunning. Beautiful brick facades line intimate streets. The tall tower intuitively shows where the center is located, and the canal pulls both greenery and water straight into the plan, right to the center. The facades are diverse and fit the local vernacular of Flanders, inspired by the architecture that can be found in nearby Bruges.
I mean, I think this is interesting because it looks, I mean, like some of these pictures, like that does look a little more modern to me. The design is similar to, you know, traditional, but that looks a little more modern.
Greenery and water straight into the plan, right to the center. The facades are diverse and fit the local vernacular of Flanders, inspired by the architecture that can be found in nearby Bruges. The local inhabitants have formed a community, and not only has it become a popular place to live, but more importantly, it has shown to be very friendly to children.
Oh, wow.
Another interesting aspect is how the garages offer extra space that could potentially be used as an accessory dwelling unit.
Really?
So far, they can't be used like this, as they would probably be let out to tourists, as it is so close to the beach. But with the current housing crisis, it is being discussed again. So
Don't do it. I mean, I'm surprised they're considering it because there's so many cities around Europe that are just like done with the, you know, short-term rental properties, or at least, you know, like I know in Spain, like Malaga, Madrid, Valencia, Barcelona, like they're all like done with the tourists coming in. So it seems like they're at a place where all these other country or other cities and countries would want to get to, but they're considering adding in short-term rentals. So that's interesting.
So what were the beach? But with the current housing crisis, it is being discussed again. So what were the urban design principles of Heulebrug? There are several key ones. The town uses a system of building blocks with clear delineation of public and private space. The street system is organic, with slight curves and turns. The plan doesn't turn its back on the surrounding countryside, but opens up to it, and has only frontal facades facing the view of the surrounding polders.
Oh, nice.
It is designed as a mixed-use development. The aim was to have shops in the neighborhood. However, only a pharmacy has made it. This is actually a quite common challenge in new towns like this. The architecture reflects the local Flemish vernacular and uses...
Well, I mean, he's saying some things that are kind of left open, because he's saying that there's mixed use is a problem, but he doesn't say why it's a problem in towns like that, and only a pharmacy made it, which I guess that would make sense. That's every town should have that.
Neighborhood. However, only a pharmacy has made it. This is actually a quite common challenge in new towns like this. The architecture reflects the local Flemish vernacular and uses classical principles like vertical window openings, traditional materials and pitched roofs.
Oh, nice.
One often overlooked feature is the backs of the houses. In Heulebrug, there's a system of back alleys where people can park their cars and bikes. This place has an even more important function, however. In daily life, it's a place where people meet and where children can play, as it is closed off from regular traffic and it is too narrow for cars to speed. So, what 5 expert lessons can we learn from Heulebrug?
Yeah.
First of all, a good plan doesn't take long to be made, but guarding it takes decades. The charrette only took about a week, but it has required constant vigilance of WVI to maintain
Wow, it only took a week for them to design that?
the vision. Second, put cars at the back.
Yeah.
If underground parking is unfeasible, back of block alleys can absorb garages and storage, so France stays civil and free of cars and clutter. Number 3, review plans intelligently. Don't just enforce a dogmatic scheme of aesthetics, but have your reviewers of plans explain why certain elements matter. Because many design elements often have more important functions than just an aesthetic one. Number 4 is guard the landscape for everyone. Make sure you don't sell the qualities of the landscape as a luxury to single lot owners, but make sure that the entire community benefits. It will raise the value of the entire neighborhood, not just the plots
Right.
it would benefit. And finally, number 5.
Have a
has
spine.
a spine. You often need one promoter of the plan who has enough political power and the spine to defend it. Otherwise, it might be compromised before the first brick is placed.
Yeah.
You need a firm no sometimes. So, is Heulebrug completely perfect? Well, of course not. It doesn't have all the shops and liveliness of a bigger town.
Right.
But to be fair, it's too small to support that anyway. And with people owning cars and bikes, it's only logical that they do their shopping nearby. The closest supermarket is a 15-minute walk anyway.
Oh, that's not
What
bad.
about the aesthetics? Well, many of the roads have a bit too much asphalt, and some of the
Yeah.
architecture could be a bit bland. But
That's maybe that's what I was saying looked a little modern, were the roads. Because, you know, I don't know, you expect the roads to maybe have asphalt that looks a little more worn or something like that. Maybe that's really the missing piece. The roads and the sidewalks looks like they were just built, 5 years ago. So, I don't know, maybe that's it.
to be fair, at least it's harmonious. And if you know anything about Belgium and its ugly Belgian houses, a visually harmonious neighborhood is quite unique here. And it's far better than a nearby 70s district.
Oh,
Concluding, Heulebrug shows us how we could embrace a radically different way of designing successfully. One that embraces the unique architectural language of a region, that uses timeless and proven principles of urban design, and one that makes sure that everybody can enjoy the beauty of the surrounding landscape. Most importantly, it shows that places with a pleasant ambience, places you remember, can be designed and made. Many
Yeah.
people believe it's simply not possible. And yet, here in Belgium, they managed to do this. It can be done, but you need a great plan designed by fantastic planners and those who guard it. That's why
Right.
I believe that we need an army of great designers, politicians, developers, and citizens who can create and defend these places. We need those with the knowledge, the systems, the language, and courage to take on the status quo. Or we simply won't make these nice places anymore. I'm doing whatever I can with our new email list to share everything I've learned over the years, visiting and studying places like Heulebrug.
that was really interesting. I saw in the comments a lot of people were saying we need this in my town or my country. Or does anybody else out there think that? I thought this was super interesting. I had no idea that this even existed. Obviously, haven't watched too many videos on Belgium, but maybe we will watch some more. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Put it in the comments. Hopefully you liked this video. If you did and you want to see more just like it, then subscribe to the channel, man. It's easy and it's free. My name is Greg. I'll catch you on the next video. Peace.